distance learners. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I think a few of you guys know what it means, and I wish we could have a dialogue and conversation about this, but I'll do my best to fill it in from both sides. So the question I want to get you guys thinking about today is, what does it mean if something is deep? What does it mean if something is deep and deep in your soul, deep emotions? This is a question I asked some of my in-person learners, and they said a few things. I asked them because I've seen it a lot on social media lately. Oh, this is so deep, or oh, my heart, so deep, things like that. And I was like, maybe I need some younger people to explain this to me. So I asked for my in-person classes input, and they said that it basically is something that tugs on your heartstrings, is something that makes you feel a certain kind of way, and is that provokes an emotional response from you because of its connection to the real world. And so this is kind of what I want you guys to start thinking about as we read through Kin and as we finish preparing or ending that story. So some of the things that I showed and asked my students were, I showed them some pictures and I said, do we think this is deep or not? So this first one, I'd like you to think about it. It says, everyone has a dark side. Ha ha ha. And then I had a couple people tell me whether or not they thought it was deep. So I wish you could tell me, but maybe you can send me a message and tell me what you think, deep or not. And then another one was this tweet from Keanu Reeves. Someone will always be prettier. Someone will always be smarter. Someone will always be younger, but they will never be you. Is it deep? I don't know. What do we think? And another one, this guy's getting ready in the morning, trying to decide what mask to wear. The different kind of mask than we wear for this pandemic. So deep or not? About this one, do we think that this one is deep? And this last one, our good pal SpongeBob. Do we think that this one is deep? So these are some things that I want you to think about. So what does it mean if a story is deep? So I asked you all this, and I want you guys to start thinking about this because I want you to think about some of the ways that a story can be deep and be connected to the real world. It can have we can have a deep emotional response to it. So some of the things that you can ask yourself to figure out a story's deeper meaning are here. So you can ask yourself, how does this story connect to the real world? What topics or issues or things that are important to us are reflected or connected to the real world? And then how does this story connect to human problems? And then why would the author take the time to write this story? And then what issues or concepts might the author want you to think about? So asking yourselves these questions will help you make connections to the story yourself, help you have a deeper understanding of what the author's trying to tell you or teach, and then also help you understand the themes of the story, and then some of the literary devices the authors might choose to use as well. What we're going to be thinking about for our assignment today is, what are the deeper meanings of Kin, which is our short story? What connections or things does the story have to the real world? These questions are going to be very subjective, meaning they're up to you. There are lots of correct answers, but this is what I want you guys to think about today as we talk about and discuss this in our assignment. Some information I want to give you about Bruce McAllister, who's our author, is that he grew up in a Navy family near a Marine military research bay, and it was one of the things that inspired his love of science fiction stories that he writes with some frequency. And the story, The Kin, it was written in 2006, which is right around the height of the introduction of the internet. And a lot of people started discussing a lot of the topics that Kin addresses, things like overpopulation and poverty. Those are some of the things that people started discussing on the internet, and that information became more and more relevant. So as we finish our assignment today, what are some of the deeper connections of Kin? What does it mean? What is the author trying to say? Is it just a story about a boy and an alien, or is there something deeper going on here? All right, so go ahead and get started on your assignment. There's some questions that you'll need to answer. All right, have a great day.